Namaskar, friends. Thanks for watching us. Today, I have a special guest from Mumbai, esteemed and well-known doctor, Dr. Amit Thadani with us. So, Namaskar, doctor, and Dhanyavad for giving us time. So, Dr. Amit is a very well-known doctor, but yet I would like to introduce him in a minute. Dr. Amit completed his MS in LTMGH Sion College in year 2000. He is a consulting general surgeon carrying vast experience in general and laparoscopic surgery. He is a fellow in minimal access surgery from GMC Nagpur and also a fellow in bariatric surgery, GEM Hospital, Coimbatore. He is a practicing doctor in Chembur and Navi Mumbai. He is also director at Niramaya Hospital, which is a 76-bed hospital in Kharghar, which has been converted into a COVID hospital since July 2020. So he has the credit of saving at least hundreds of lives in last 1 year. So we all thank him for that, and we start the questions. Dr. Sahab, thank you and dhanyavad. So
thank you for calling me. Yes.
So coming to our first question, now we are living with COVID for more than a year now. Somehow, when it started in March last year, there were very grave predictions made by a lot of experts that there will be bodies all over. The medical facilities are very poor in India and all that. But somehow we survived. The numbers were very low, and the year went by. And this year, suddenly, in April, the numbers went very high, and right now they don't seem to be in control. So my first question is that as a country, how bad or how good we are doing?
For the size of population, I think overall we are doing as expected. Right? It is a pandemic. Right?
Correct.
But SNK, the numbers are not going bad across the country at one time.
Yeah.
It is area-wise. Fortunately, the numbers are still very high. We are, more than half of the cases in the world right now are from India, which is an undeniable thing. And we have lived through it. We have been managing patients continuously throughout this pandemic. And it was a very, very tough time for us also. Right now, I will say the condition in Mumbai, Maharashtra is getting better and better every day. Number of cases are coming down fast every day.
That's a relief.
But condition is going bad in other areas. Like Delhi is now more or less at a plateau and maybe will start coming down soon. I can see that maybe there is some easing of availability happening as of now. Maybe. And UP is definitely better already, where bed availability has become significantly better, and there is no real problem as far as even availability of essentials is concerned. Kerala is now again starting to go bad. Karnataka is still going bad, right? MP is still not plateaued out. So many states are still in the process of going from bad to worse. Bengal, nobody knows what's going on, but that state also will go bad. So there are Punjab, nobody again knows what's going on. Punjab situation is actually very bad because
Punjab has the highest fatality rate actually.
Highest fatality rate means it is grossly underreporting also. There is not much of testing, not of vaccination. It is actually doing quite badly. So it's not fortunately that all the states have, but many states did go bad at one time, which is why we had so much of crisis. Oxygen was short, medicines were short because big states went bad at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was the problem. So any country you can say in the world, if it faces this kind of abrupt rise in the number of cases like we did, that it went from few thousand to lakhs within a space of 15-20 days, any country will struggle to manage, and we also struggled to manage. In all fairness, we also struggled. It's not as if it's been very good. I have been struggling with oxygen shortages and other shortages day in and day out. Even today, remdesivir we are getting only at discretion of the government whenever it feels like. Oxygen rationing literally has been introduced. So it is still a tight situation. But it is getting better gradually.
Okay. So now, there are a lot of medical terms are thrown these days, and they are flying like thick and fast. So a term which always I heard, and many people believe, I also believed it to some extent, without much knowledge, of course, right? that there is something known as herd immunity. Now, my question is that when we'll be able to flatten this second wave, and if it gets flattened, how much part the herd immunity would have played, and how much part our human intervention will be playing in that?
Herd immunity is a concept that
Correct.
if a certain number of people are affected and have become immune to the virus,
Correct.
then the remaining get protected because उतनी भीड़ में ग्राहक ढूंढना कम हो जाता है, ऐसा concept है. It is not that others get some miraculous amount of immunity, but it's just that the number of hosts available for the virus become fewer. That
Correct.
is herd immunity. It is not anything else. Okay.
Acha.
So you have to understand that to get that kind of situation, you need to first have a mob standing and then few people who are hiding in between.
Yeah.
Who will be protected by the mob, right?
Right.
So you have to create that sort of situation. No? You have to create
Correct.
that sort of mob, you can say, which will be protecting the people who are weak.
Correct.
So herd immunity is way ahead. We are nowhere close to herd immunity.
Okay.
Nowhere close. There
Okay.
are two ways by which you can get to herd immunity: by exposing everyone in the population or by protecting everyone in the population.
Correct.
Okay. You protect them by vaccination, right? Or you expose everyone to the disease.
Right.
Now, if you are exposing everyone to the disease, you will be in the situation which was there in UK, where they said, "Hum herd immunity karenge. Let people get infected.
Yeah. I remember that.
Let the pensioners die. We'll lose a few pensioners. What's the big deal?" They actually said this on record.
Yeah.
So and what happened along with those pensioners? A lot of their young guys also died, along with their productive died also, and their system quickly within 2 months started getting completely overwhelmed with cases.
Yeah.
Right, and even their own prime minister landed up in the ICU. Right,
Yeah.
When they realized that this is a bad idea.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it was.
Immunity. The only way you can achieve herd immunity in reality is by mass vaccination only.
Okay.
You cannot get to herd immunity by any other way.
By killing people.
Will we get to herd immunity? Yeah, we will not get to herd immunity anytime in the next 1 year also.
Oh.
कहाँ से होगा? ना हमारे पास उतनी वैक्सीन है और हमारे 40% आबादी तो अंडर 18 है. तो अगर आपको 80% का पॉपुलेशन को वैक्सीनेट करना है तो आप कहाँ से करोगे? कर ही नहीं सकते. We are not going to reach. At least for next 1 year plus we will not reach. Rural is extremely opposed to vaccination. There is huge rumor mongering going on in rural, especially in north. Huge. We get so many patients from north. उनको directly वहाँ पर सब messaging घूम रहा है कि वैक्सीन देने से लोग मर जाते हैं. And people are adamant कि कुछ भी हो जाए वैक्सीन नहीं लेना है types, you know.
So we are just not aware of that as a layman. I am just not aware of these kind of rumors in a city like Nagpur, which is, you can say, kind of well educated and so no access to rural area as such. So we were just not aware of this. This is another challenge.
It is a big challenge. If we don't address this challenge, we are going to really struggle because rural is 50% population, you know. So if 50% population is resistant and says हमको नहीं करना है, then where is your herd immunity? Next wave will wipe them out and then target the young in our generation in the cities.
Oh my God.
So you know,
that's something really, that's something really disturbing and something really new I heard. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so now, so what are the reasons behind this second wave? Is there a new mutant or something like that? I mean,
see, क्या होता है ना कि the nature of pandemic is to come, rise again, fall, and the next wave again rise and fall. Those who missed it, those who got missed the first time, third time it will rise and fall and affect those who got missed the first and second time. Or those who have immunity has reduced. So this is how pandemics are always. Okay, pandemics will never come only in one wave and go off. It is always in multiple waves.
ऐसा ही है. It is like that only.
So there are a duration right from 1.5, 2 years to 15 years ongoing pandemics also in throughout the history. So that's what you can't say how much long it's going to stay. This is third calendar year already going on, right? So 2019 October, November, first cases were there in China, and now it is, we are halfway through 2020. right?
Yeah.
21.
21.
So we
Yeah.
are now, this will be 3 years हो जाएगा अपने को technically. Calendar years 3 हो जाते हैं, मतलब actual years 2 होते हैं फिर भी. तो
हाँ,
calendar
हाँ.
year तो 3, calendar year तो 3 हो गए.
बराबर है, बराबर है.
So it is how long it will last? Maybe there will be another wave and then another wave. We don't know. And mutants have got a lot of role because the mutants which we have in our country right now are very fast spreading and
Yeah.
very virulent. Unfortunately, it is both. It is very fast spreading, also highly infectious and highly virulent, meaning the amount of disease it causes is much more. That is why
Okay.
suddenly there is such a big explosion where earlier we had number of cases, you will get 1,000 cases, you will get 2,000 cases in
Yeah.
the city, and 5,000 cases in the city, and it becomes everyone starts going into panic. And now it is like one fine day, suddenly you have 18-20,000 cases
Yeah, yeah,
in one city. So that is like a nuclear bomb thrown in that city almost.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So no infrastructure which you will build will be able to handle that kind of explosive growth.
I understand.
So that is what now we have got certain cities which are targeted. Next wave will target other cities, or maybe it will die out in this area, keep affecting other
Yeah.
areas.
Okay.
So this is going to
So
keep happening until it is, until it naturally dies out, the virus becomes, it multiplies enough of times, and then some mutation comes along which makes it a little weaker instead of stronger.
okay.
Then that mutation spreads everywhere. So that also
So
can happen.
that also happens.
But right now
That
there is
can
no
also
sign of it
happen.
happening at all. Yeah,
Correct.
right now there is no sign. Where is the sign that is actually happening? It's actually the
Getting
more
stronger
horrible
only.
strain which is now spreading. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mutant strains are worse than the original strain which are spreading.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So now, again, there are theories that you cannot cure COVID. There is no medicine for COVID. From this theory to the theory that remdesivir is the रामबाण, मतलब कि जिसको कह सकते हैं हम. So these are the theories, right? And we all know कि how much there was remdesivir के लिए कितनी मारामारी बची थी rather, and there was a short supply, and there are reports that people have bought one remdesivir at 15,000, 20,000, and all, I mean, crazy type of numbers. So now the question is, so it is curable, we know, or rather in 14 days it dies out. So now the question is it really curable or it dies on its own? That's the question.
Okay, now virals are generally self-limiting diseases. Okay, viral diseases are generally self-limiting diseases, meaning they have a finite time in which they will attack you. After that certain time is over, they will exit.
Okay.
Okay, that is how viruses work by and large.
Okay.
So generally we say as a rule of thumb, 2 weeks is what a virus would take to clear out from the body. Same thing COVID also does. It is also SARS-CoV-2 virus also will exit your body in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks? Okay.
In that 2 weeks, what damage it does,
Achha.
that is your luck.
Achha. That depends on your body immunity also.
Yes, it depends a lot on your own immunity. Other than that, it depends on your risk factors. If you are not keeping well, you are at high risk because your immunity is a little lower. Immunity alone is not a factor. We have seen right now that also there are other things like the amount of virus in the circulatory environment around you. Right? If there is a very heavy load of infection all around you, you will get a larger dose of the virus. And even if your immunity is good, it will be overcome.
Yeah.
So that is what is happening in Delhi, where young people are dying. Here also in Mumbai, we have seen a lot of young people getting severe disease.
Very
young
sad.
means 18, 20 kind of young people. So we have seen a lot of with 20-year-olds with 100% lung involvement. You can imagine the severity. We have not seen a single case like that during the first wave, but this time we have seen a lot. With 80-100% lung involvement, वाले तो हम लोग ward में manage कर रहे थे 70-80% lung involvement because ICU bed नहीं थे. So it has been a very, very difficult time also for us to get so many patients out. So people keep looking at our mortality only 0.4% for 0.5. We know how we have kept that mortality at 0.5%.
Yeah.
It's not because the virus has become tame or something. It is just because we have become better and better at managing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the virus is bad only. It's not
Correct.
anything, you know. Now, if we have to look at cure, there are two
Okay.
things. One is if self-limited disease hai, it will exit the body. So there is no real need to try and cure the virus by throwing it out of the body because it is going to exit by itself only.
In
But
2
you
weeks.
can cut its effect in the body down by giving antivirals. Like how you will give antibacterial antibiotic you will give for bacteria, you will
Correct.
give antiviral for viruses.
Okay.
So it will kill that virus and it will throw it out of the body faster before it is supposed. That is cure.
Okay.
Okay, now that is curative treatment because you're getting rid of the virus directly by giving antiviral.
Right.
Like you'll, right. Okay. So isme kaisa hai that we have mainly 2 antivirals which we are using. Now more are coming, but gradually we have only 2 antivirals which are being used. One is favipiravir, one is remdesivir. Favipiravir is a useless drug.
Favipiravir is
a useless drug. Favipiravir is a useless drug. कोई काम का नहीं. Almost it's not worth the money people spend on it. Remdesivir works.
Okay.
क्योंकि remdesivir अगर patient को देंगे, you don't give it in mild disease first of all. You will give it only in moderate disease or severe disease.
Correct.
Only patients who are at a particular time in their illness between day 2 and day 9 and only moderate and severe disease. You will not give it to mild. You will not give it to the worst who are already bad.
Over the hill
10-12 days because उनको इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता because they are already beyond that infectivity phase. मैंने बताया था आपको the virus will exit the body in 10 to 14 days.
Correct.
If you are already beyond that, you give antivirals, it may not make any difference. So you necessarily don't need to give antivirals after 10-12 days are already over. The role is very limited. You will want to give it when the virus is actively multiplying in the body. Only that time you have to give it. That's where remdesivir has a work because you give remdesivir, the patient, you can immediately see the patient's symptomatic improvement. Patient जो continuous fever मार रहा था वो fever बंद हो जाता है. Patient का जो breathlessness है वो immediately gets better. So definitely remdesivir has an effective role in the body. Now whether it reduces mortality or not is very questionable. Maybe a lot of people who would have become worse are not becoming worse because of it. Maybe in the long run, the virus is exiting from the body anyway, so the overall mortality doesn't change, right? So mortality statistics are little more tricky to ascertain. Whether it helps the patient or not, there is no doubt that patients improve a lot when you give remdesivir. They go home faster. This is documented from studies. What happens if a patient is going to stay for 8 to 10 days, his stay becomes 5 to 7 days. On an average, patient will go home 2 days faster. That means obviously it is working. You cannot say that it is not working. All the same, you cannot cure it, call it a cure in the sense because, as I said, the virus is going to exit from the body anyway, right? And the disease still continues because there are other components to COVID disease. Beyond virus, क्या करेगा? Virus system में आएगा. It will trigger an autoimmune reaction, which causes clots in the body. We know that it causes clots in the body, which cuts off circulation of the lungs. It may cut off circulation of the heart, cause brain strokes, cause clots in the leg, right? So that pathology continues after the virus has exited from the body also. So simply giving antivirals like you will give antibiotic for a bacterial infection is not enough. You need to give steroids to push that immune reaction down. You need to give blood thinners so that those clots don't happen. Right? So you need to give antibiotics because when the patient is being given oxygen supplementation, anaerobic bacteria grow in the blood. So you need to cover with antibiotics. And because you're giving steroids, again, you need to cover with antibiotics and antifungals. So treatment becomes much more than just trying to cure the disease.
That's why it is complicated, right?
Yeah.
You see, I mean, along with this, I mean, we discussed immunity a bit, and immunity is, remains the most abused word right now. So I watch a little bit of sport. So I was shocked when I heard that Djokovic is suffering from COVID. that day my immunity ka mera concept came crashing down. I mean, there is not a fitter person on the planet than Djokovic, right? And if Djokovic can get, and his body must be in the topmost condition, he must not be abusing it in any way, and still he can get affected. So immunity is something different. I mean, we don't understand, probably. I don't know.
Yes.
And so can drugs boost that immunity? I mean, that's a double question I have.
So, first of all, immunity तो सबकी होती है. Otherwise, you can't walk around in an environment which has trillions of bacteria in every square centimeter.
Correct.
Immunity तो सबको है. Natural immunity. There are very few unfortunate souls who don't have natural immunity and they die very early in life. Everybody has got immunity.
Correct.
So if somebody says कि मेरे को immunity कम है, मेरे को ज़्यादा है, no. Everybody's body has got a good function. That is why you are alive. Without a functioning immune system, you will be dead in matter of minutes to hours.
Yeah.
Everybody has a good functioning immune system. Now, उसमें क्या होता है that when your system is getting overwhelmed,
अच्छा.
Okay. Then you start suffering from disease.
Okay.
If your body has got good immunity, but the disease load in your body is just too much. For example, you are a bodybuilder. You are trying for world record. World record करते करते आपका कमर टूट जाता है. Right. So beyond a certain point, your body's defenses will give way.
Crash. Yeah.
That is when you will fall sick.
Okay.
So to say that I will build up my immunity and I will just keep drinking Kaya to improve my immunity is not the way. Going to work.
I find it very funny at times.
Why are you stimulating your immune system again and again when you don't have an infection?
Correct.
If you want to fight an infection and you use these methods to boost your immunity against an infection which you have, it makes sense. But to just go on stimulating your immune system by pumping in these things, it doesn't really, it doesn't make any logical sense in that. अगर आपको गला खराब है, you are not feeling well, and you do natural things additionally to taking medicines, it may help.
Correct.
बेवजह नहीं करने का.
बेवजह नहीं करने का. I agree with you.
That is what I
see. I agree with you. Perfect, doctor. So now, I'm saying again and again, and not blaming anyone as such, but these are very distressful times, and people are not in a position at times to really think logically, right? So we see a lot of people panicking and rushing to hospitals. So I see people at the SpO02 drops to 90, they want to go to hospital. I think it is not required. I'm not the expert. So, of course, you at the time I'm asking the question to you. But, as per you, when the hospitalization becomes necessary?
See, we should make all efforts to prevent the disease from progressing beyond a certain point.
Okay.
पहले तो ये समझना है कि we cannot let the condition become so bad that you'll end up in the hospital, because if you're going to wait for saturation to fall, then you are already in deep trouble.
Okay.
So you have various ways of predicting which patients are going to go bad.
Okay.
Right, you can do blood tests, you can do which will give you a reasonable, you can do CRP, you can do D-dimer ferritin. So LDH, you will get a fairly good working idea as to which patients are going to go bad.
Correct.
The moment you find blood tests are deranged, that also you don't do immediately. अभी मेरे को COVID मालूम पड़ा और अभी का भी मैंने जाके टेस्ट कर लिया, देखो सब नॉर्मल है, मैं ठीक हूँ. नहीं. You'll do tests only after a few days, because most of the problems associated with COVID will start 5th day onward. There is a small group of patients who will just get the infection and die within 3 or 4 days.
Oh,
but
my
those
God.
Numbers are very young patients. I've seen 38-year-old patient, second day of illness, saturation 80%, third day tak ventilator, and third day ke end mein gone.
Oh my God.
Gone. So nothing you can do, because हम लोग के पास आया 12 घंटे में मर गया patient. We could not do anything because we didn't get any time to do anything. Okay. So those patients are the worst of the worst. Fortunately, they are comparatively less in number.
Okay.
जो most of the patients start going bad by 5th or 7th day, their oxygen saturation will start dropping, or they will suddenly get an increase in symptoms, like they'll get increased fever, cough. Those patients you have to catch, and those patients you have to treat aggressively.
Okay.
हाँ, so उनको आपको एडमिशन से अगर रोकना है तो उनको उसी पॉइंट पे ठीक करना होता है. Once the saturation has started dropping,
Okay.
that means patient has already got a significant amount of lung damage, and those patients should not be at home. You may get lucky and recover, but those patients should ideally not be at home. यहाँ पर मजबूरी में उनको घर पे ट्रीट किया जा रहा है, घर पे ऑक्सीजन देकर, घर पे स्टेरॉइड्स देके, और घर में वो सब देके जो आपको हॉस्पिटल में देना पड़ता था. Okay, but इसका मतलब नहीं है that is a desirable thing. That is not at all a desirable thing. The moment the saturation starts going below 95, in fact, baseline अगर आपका 96, 97 है तो 95, 94 जाना चालू हुआ तो you need to be concerned. If it has gone below 90, that means you already have extensive lung damage.
अच्छा. Okay.
You can still recover and get well, right?
Okay.
Even with extensive lung damage. But then it's better not to take that kind of chances, because to go from 90% to 50% saturation may be just a matter of hours.
Okay.
हाँ, ये मैंने देखा है खुद अपने आंखों से, that patient having 90% saturation in the morning goes to 40% within 2 hours. So we would not at all advise people to take that kind of risks. आपको भी मैंने इसीलिए बोला था.
नहीं नहीं, I remember that. I remember that.
Because हम लोग ये देख रहे हैं सामने सामने क्या होता है. This is what happens. These people suddenly collapse, and it is a very fast process. Very fast. In a matter of hours, the person suddenly gets better. So मैं बता रहा हूँ, मेरे हॉस्पिटल में एक elderly gentleman, 70-year-old, admitted, saturation 90% था, टॉयलेट जाके बाहर आया और कोलैप्स हो गया, सीधा 40% saturation. It went that fast.
Oh my God.
So that is why we never recommend anybody जिसका saturation below normal जा रहा है to be at home. Absolutely. तो मजबूरी में कर रहे हैं हम. They should not be at home.
हाँ, so I mean, if there is a rush in hospital, so thanks, doctor, so much. So okay, so I mean, this immunity thing keeps coming back. So is there a way to map or quantify immunity? ऐसा कुछ है?
हाँ, है ना.
अच्छा है.
हाँ, है ना, बिल्कुल है. आपका अगर CBC कर रही है, आपका अगर WBC काउंट नॉर्मल है, आपका हेमोग्लोबिन अच्छा है, right? If your blood parameters are okay, your kidney function is good, your liver function is good, right? Okay. Your basic vitamin D3, B12 levels are good, right? Okay. Your thyroid levels are well controlled. So your basic blood parameters, if they are good, generally we can say that your immunity status is decent. But that is the one step. Okay, that is not ongoing. That is at that point in time whether you are good or not. दूसरे दिन पे भी आप खराब हो सकते हो. Okay, that is like a photograph.
But that is for that moment.
At that moment you're okay. 2 घंटे बाद भी आपको हार्ट अटैक आ सकता है. हाँ, वो तो it is a dynamic process. So if you are good now, maybe you will be good for longer time. We assume करते हैं. Not necessary, but we assume that.
हाँ, मतलब मेरी इम्यूनिटी बहुत जबरदस्त है, मुझे कुछ नहीं होगा, is bad. That's a bad idea.
Never assume that मुझे कुछ नहीं होगा, because जिसको कुछ नहीं होगा वो ऊपर वाला है. बाकी सब लोग हम लोग नीचे वाले हैं. So we should never assume that हमको कुछ नहीं होगा. हमको कुछ होना है इसलिए तो हम पैदा हुए हैं.
हाँ, नहीं वो तो है.
Otherwise how will we go back?
हाँ, I agree with you. Right. So now already people and politicians are talking that there is going to be third wave. So my first question is, you already at the right of start of the interview, you said that this may keep on coming back and going down, and then again numbers will catch up. So, so is there any way of finding out is there going to be a third wave, when it is going to be there? As I don't know if we can predict in any way.
You can,
Okay.
Because you look at vulnerable population groups, कौन रह गए हैं?
Vulnerable population?
कौन vulnerable population groups रह गए हैं? वो identify करो.
अच्छा, okay.
ये वाले में से कौन बच गए? किसका इम्यूनिटी अभी तक ठीक नहीं है, जिसको एंटीबॉडी नेगेटिव है, राइट? जिनको वैक्सीनेशन नहीं मिला है. That right now will be under 18s. So that's why you will see articles also there are there that third wave children को affect होगा, because अभी टारगेट ऐसा है कि एटलीस्ट above 18 population को वैक्सीनेट कर दे. तो बचेगा कौन? All below 18 and all unvaccinated people. अभी जैसे इजराइल में क्या हो रहा है, इजराइल में 70-80% पॉपुलेशन को वैक्सीनेशन का एटलीस्ट एक डोज मिल चुका है. वहां पर 25% जो वहां पे जो आईसीयू पेशेंट्स हैं, ओनली 2.8% आर पीपल हु आर फुल्ली वैक्सीनेटेड जो कोविड आईसीयू में. ओनली 2.8%. 75% of the patients in their COVID ICU are people who are unvaccinated. 22% are those who just got one dose and unfortunately got infected, and only 2.8% are those who are fully vaccinated.
So
ये तो क्लियर है कि अगर किसी को आपको, हाँ, ये तो क्लियर है कि अगर आपको पॉपुलेशन को प्रोटेक्ट करना है तो नथिंग बेटर देन वैक्सीनेशन टू प्रोटेक्ट एवरीबॉडी. अगर आपको एक तरीके से, दूसरे तरीके से बोलता हूँ कि आपको अगर आपकी इम्यूनिटी.
Small question, doctor here. Sorry for stopping you. What I'm saying that, so you mean to say that in that ICU patients are getting infected?
No. कोविड हुआ है और आईसीयू में पहुंचे हैं.
अच्छा. Okay, please continue. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. आप बोल रहे थे कि इम्यूनिटी कैसे बनाना है खुद का. आप वैक्सीनेशन ले लीजिए, you will become immune. बन गई आपकी इम्यूनिटी अगेंस्ट कोविड.
So now even 20s and people in their 20s should be vaccinated. That's what you are saying.
Exactly. No, so if you want to build your immunity against COVID, take vaccine. You built up your immunity. You have been exposed to the virus without risk of getting disease.
Okay.
Right. Well, that is immunity. What else it is?
I understand. I perfectly agree with you. And so we are just at the end of it. One last question, doctor. That once you are infected, do you become immune for 3 months, 6 months, and something like that?
So as per ICMR data,
okay,
96% of people develop immunity which will last at least for a year more. Because वापस होने वाले सिर्फ relapse होने वाले cases जो हैं वो सिर्फ 4% है.
Okay.
जिनको second infection होता है, reinfection is only risk is around 4% as per ICMR.
Okay.
So even natural infection जिनको होता है उनको immunity ठीक ठाक होता है by and large. Okay, so natural infection होकर भी immunity, you will at least chances 95-96% you may not get COVID again.
Okay.
So you may be in that 4-5% who get disease again also if it is not your luck. या अगर कोई mutant strain आ गई जो वो पहले वाले strain से हटके है.
So that is like not in.
We have the fear of mutants because mutant क्या होता है कि you know जो characteristics हैं एक strain के वो change हो गए. So maybe that immunity may not work against. जैसे influenza है. Influenza हर साल आता है. But हर साल US में अलग वैक्सीन बनती है, यहाँ पे अलग वैक्सीन बनती है depending on local strain. Same thing पोलियो में होता है. Strain में म्यूटेशन आता है, हर साल पोलियो का नया वैक्सीन बनता है.
Right.
So it is nothing new. It is nothing new. It is what is expected only. तो अगर कोविड में भी अगर आपको म्यूटेशन आता है, आपको न्यू स्ट्रेन ऑफ वैक्सीन बनाना पड़ता है हर साल जो वल्नरेबल पॉपुलेशन है उनको देने के लिए, तो पॉसिबल है कि कोविड में भी शायद करना पड़े.
Okay. Perfect, doctor. So nice, and it was very informative, and I hope that our listeners will find it very informative in these distressing, troubled times. Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you so much.